Hello, my name is Ashley Carter, and at the beginning of this semester, I was an early education major with a birth to kindergarten minor. I had all intentions to graduate with my bachelor's degree and go into the school system. But halfway through this semester, I started getting more drawn into the social work side of the foster care system as well as a counselor for drug recovery. I know what you're probably thinking. Those two careers, although alike in ways, are two totally different paths. The thing is, I would know I would be great at both because of my past. I would pour my heart and soul into each person that I cross paths with. Going through things that have happened in my life, I not only relate to both sides, but I have been in their shoes completely. Not to get too much into that because of time, but I have fallen victim to both social services and drugs. And even through the hardest minutes and days of my life, I always ask God, why is this happening? There was a time in my life when everyone told me that what I had been through with addiction and recovery was for a reason. I may not understand it then, but one day the puzzle would start coming together. That time is now. I decided to change my major to Human Development and Family Studies. In fact, this class was one of the reasons for my change. A social worker is a mental health professional who works to improve the lives of vulnerable populations. They work with individuals and communities to overcome challenges that affect social change. The field of social work utilizes social theories to understand human problems, to help improve people's lives, and to improve society as a whole. One of the first modules that stuck with me was the conflict theory with Dr. Galtung and Dr. Englander's conclusions of explaining violent behavior. Growing up in a healthy household, I never thought I would end up in a violent relationship. I mean, why would somebody flip on a dime and beat their spouse and not have 1 ounce of sympathy? Until, of course, they're ready to leave, and then they're all apologetic. The worst part of it all is believing it and staying until it happens again. What is the thought process for the abuser and the victim? Researching Englander, I realized there are a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to violent behavior. Not only biological and socio-psychological makeup, but physical and emotional characteristics that can add fuel to the fire. That's what my ex would always say. Why are you adding fuel to the fire? And I always thought that was my fault. This can include education, communities, family, child development, peer relationships, and much more. Then you have the risk factors. These are things that can alter or progress someone to be more violent. For example, with my ex that was drinking. Anytime he wanted to stop at the liquor store, I knew what was to come. I thought it was the liquor store I hated, but over time I realized it was him who was being tempted. There are different types of risk factors for other people, and working in social work, this would help me point those things out. While the addict or the enabling family may not see it, I can help them learn about those types of things to stay away from. Then you have the foster care system, which ultimately comes from bad decisions and drugs most of the time. Being an advocate and helping families get to a place of love and structure is what I want to do. With Galtung, I learned about wherever there is violence, there is unresolved conflict. Working with children and families in social services, conflict in the home is what has led them here. Social work centers ensure that the needs of the individual, family, and society are met. It will be my job to detect the problems and grievances of the clients and carry out activities to solve the problems and reduce the risk. It will be my job to de-escalate and pick apart the issues they are having to help them. In drug recovery, I will do the same and look at the issues within the person that is causing them to want to use drugs. There is always an underlying cause that makes you want to get high. You cannot quit drugs without fixing the reason you are doing them. Drugs are just a mask for all the pain that comes from that underlying conflict. In both cases, I will play the mediator for who I work with. In social work, advocating for human rights and treating everyone with respect is what I would hold true. This takes me back to the fire next time and matrices for analyzing conflict. When the town fell apart because of the unwillingness to get along and see everyone as your equal, it just showed me that just their hometown conflict spread from local to worldwide. Doing that assignment showed me how the small conflicts being unresolved can change the lives of so many. The spread of evil just keeps going, and as I may not make a huge impact, but what I can do is my part and help those in need. Philip Zimbardo, The Psychology of Evil, asks, what makes people go wrong? Good and evil are the yin and yang of human nature. There will always be both. As a social worker, I will navigate the well-being of each case and be a positive influence on them so that they know they can weather the most terrible of storms and make it out alive. While I won't be able to fix everyone I come in contact with, the ones who do see the light will be what keeps me pushing forward. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to show you the relationship between the career that I want to get into and resolving conflict, because that's the basis for social work. I want to work with many different people and take what I learned here, and especially with Englander, I really enjoyed thinking about how you need to pick apart a person to see what is making them, what their risk factors are, and what is making them do what they do. And I would love to look more into that research and be a part of something good. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed your class, and I hope to have another good semester. Thank you.